I'm just, that's an annoying sound, isn't it? That's what my brain sounds like when it kicks in reverse. It sounds like a lady dropped a vibrator and it's getting away, doesn't it? Kill it! Oh my God, it's going after the mouse. Hey, you got that picture in your head? All right, now come inside my mind and I'll show you how fucked up I am. Because I don't see that. What I see is a vibrator going across the floor, Max walks out, little mouse, he puts on a cowboy hat and he rides that son of a bitch like a rodeo. His whole family's rooting him on. 3 more seconds, you're gonna get the cheese belt. That's what I don't know why my wife married me either. I don't know why any woman would look at this and go, ooh, break me off a piece of that crackhead bar. My wife's Cuban and Southern, and I don't know what that means, but I think it means that boat went really far into Alabama. It's like, keep rolling, we're home. I bagged groceries, that's what I did. I called it bagging. The police called it shoplifting. TV's what happened to me, it did. I watch 2 TVs now. I watch 2 TVs, different channels. I make up my own show, and my favorite one is Texas Chainsaw Madagascar. It's awesome because the guy's running with a chainsaw and people are freaking out, and the music in the background is, I like to move it, move it. Damn right. You gotta talk their language or they attack. You quit sitting on your thumb, you wouldn't make that fucking noise. I like how everybody looks at her like, that bitch ain't in our town. I gotta apologize before we keep going. I'm not a comedian. I was outside getting ready to mow. I knew something was up. They seen me and said, you look stupid, come on in. All right. They dressed me in garanimals and here I am. I wasn't on Fox either. That was a lie. I'm sorry. I wasn't on. I was on Cops. And if you missed that episode, this old lady beat the hell out of me with an ashtray. She did, and that's when I figured out my grandma's a bitch when she gets drunk. I love her, but she scares the hell out of me. She does. She carries pistols, and she'll still whip them out, just like that. And it'd been a lot scarier if they didn't look like scissors, but you got to. Am I getting paid? So last night, all I got was ice chips and food stamps. And today, the ice melted and it ruined my food stamps. So just separate them, put them in Tupperware bowls. I don't know what this means either. Evidently, if you're hearing impaired, this means Tupperware. I like this job, though. I used to drive a forklift, but it upset the other people on the interstate. This is why in high school I got voted most likely to play Monopoly on a Ouija board. And if you ever do that, be careful. Make sure you got a get out of hell free card. My dad gave me that advice. He also told me my first day at high school, he goes, hey, if you get your fingers cut off in wood shop, you're gonna flunk typing. So I went and told the shop teacher. He got all mad. You think that's funny, don't you, Dad? That's real funny. Right there, buddy. Right there. He's all mad he didn't get a class ring, something, I don't know. And I tell my mom these stories all the time. I think that's when she started drinking again. That woman was drunk when I was born, and then she looked at me and tied her own tubes right there in the hospital. That's right, my mother's got a lot of tubes. She's cautious. She tied 3 other women's just in case. By the way, if you ever lose your mind, do what I do and go to the gym. That way, when you're sitting in the corner and holding yourself and rocking back and forth, people think you're doing sit-ups. Then they congratulate you. Your workout routine is awesome. Did your abs hurt? Because you're crying a lot. So here's what you do next time you're stuck in a boring conversation. This is what I do. I stand there for a minute and then I go, shit, something bit me. Works every time. That conversation is over. I do it all the time, especially when I'm talking to myself. Okay, some of you are with me and this table's like, I feel like your mother fed you through a slot in a door. She did. That's why I like drive-thrus. It reminds me of home. Oh, now my clappers are, aww. I'm in a strip club in the Bahamas, and this woman's crawling around on the floor. Apparently, that's what her GED taught her. But she was on the floor too much. I got concerned. I was like, did you lose a contact lens? Because if this is all you do, you need to change your dancer name to Swiffer. But then I realized that wasn't all she did, because this other woman come out, stuck a candle in her butt, and lit it. I know! Say it ain't so, Dale! And then money started raining, and it wasn't a trickle, it's a fucking thunderstorm. I never saw money actually rain before, and people were losing their minds. They're screaming and yelling, and here's the moment I knew I was a grown-up, because I looked at that, and I went, my God, that is a fire hazard. I hope that Swiffer's got a wet jet. One day, my teacher told me there's no such thing as a stupid question, and she should not have said that. She didn't know I was locked and loaded. The minute she said it, I just threw one at her. Well, then how come when you buy a pair of shoes, you get 2 shoes, but you only get 1 bird when you buy a pair of keys? And then we stared at each other for a while. And then her eyes started twitching. Then she said her arm went numb and we went to the hospital. And the next day I sent her a get well card and she opened it up and it said, the student has become the master. But that's not why I've called y'all here for this meeting. I want to talk about important things that are important to me. Nobody else cares. Fishing shows. Why are they still on TV? Why don't people just go outside and fish? How bored do you got to be to watch the freaking fishing show? I hate them. I don't like them. They're ignorant. They are. I'm jealous. I've never caught a fish. That's my problem. And if I ever catch one, I'm going to keep it. I don't care if it's this big. I'm going to keep it. I'm going to put it on the wall. I'm going to stick a battery in its ass. I'm going to make it sing down by the river. I'm not religious. I'm spiritual, and that means I believe in God, but I'm lazy and I ain't getting out of bed on Sunday. That's what spiritual means. It's just another word for snooze button. We've all been there. I don't care what day you go to church. On that day you wake up religious, don't you? You ready for it? You're like, religious and spiritual. I tried explaining that to my church, and that just jump-started the exorcism. I'm like, why are you flicking holy water? I grew up on well water. That burns. It does. Go drink a glass of well water. You're going to find out what killed dinosaurs. It wiped them out. That, and they couldn't pump the well because their arms were too short. That's a dinosaur. I know it looks like a stripper with bad tassels, but I'm telling you. They had asthma. That's why they sound like Chewbacca with a bag over their head. That's why I've had a lot of chocolate today.